Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlicker shills, desolators, peasants, vassals. I'm a useful idiot, and, well, would you look at that? So it turns out that the Reuters and UN spokesman came out and said that, yes, chemical weapons had indeed been used in Syria. Sarin gas, to be specific, but it was the opposition, not the Assad regime. And, of course, this is redemption for all of us out there that have been saying all along that it was the opposition. They have the most to gain. Let's get down to the simple fact, the simple truth. The simplest answer to this situation is the truth, and that is who has the most to gain by the introduction of chemical weapons after the so-called red line was drawn. The opposition and agents of the opposition. And if it wasn't the Free Syrian Army, or if it wasn't the jihadists, then it's going to be CIA, Mossad, or some other bad actors in there using chemical weapons. That's just how it's going to work. Assad has nothing, absolutely nothing, to gain by using those weapons in the field. So it makes no sense whatsoever. And as I've pointed out again and again, the Assad regime and the Syrian military have gone out of their way to protect all of those sites. And, well, they should. And so anyway, but it's a great story. So it was reported in Reuters. And, of course, this is counter to everything that the Western powers in the U.S. and our government have been saying all along. And also, interestingly enough, now we have the spokesman, the Obama administration, now that this report's come out. Of course, they vehemently deny that there's any possibility. So all along, when there's been really no indication of who might have been using chemical weapons, if any had been used at all, of course, Israel and the United States have both been willing to believe that the Assad regime were either had used them, are using them, or will use them. Although I have to give the Obama administration, particularly Barack Obama, a little bit of credit here, because he's learned a lesson from history. He wants to make sure that no trumped-up false flag is used to get America to intervene into another quagmire and have egg on his face like George Bush. So anyway, I do acknowledge his caution in this situation, particularly when he has so much pressure coming from the usual neocon scum who love war, and people like John McCain and whoever just don't get it. We can't afford it. We can't afford it in blood or treasure, and it just makes no sense whatsoever. And but anyway, it will happen. So it's an inevitability. But here's another road bump. Here's another road bump for the march to war. Finding out that yes, indeed, all along it's the opposition that probably done a chemical attack. And now, interesting too, the day after this story broke, the UN issued another statement saying there's still no conclusive evidence. So just like government as usual, when the first report comes out and you don't like the results, you basically delegitimize that report and have another one. And keep having reports until you get one that agrees with the policy you already have in place. So there it is. The opposition, the so-called rebels, have been using chemical weapons. Probably only involves about 20 people. That's the other ironic thing about this. I read one story where supposedly some Free Syrian Army elements were literally taking white powder out of jars and throwing them on other people so that there could be claims of some sort of chemical attack in Syria. And so they have the most to gain, and there it is. So, I'm a useful idiot. They are useful idiots. Don't you be one too.